All right, so much to know that you're still there at the program this morning on ITV. I told you that we are expecting the Honorable Commissioner for Information at Edo State. Already we have some members of our pensioners group in Edo State here. So when the Commissioner comes, we'll just put them on air so that we can talk to the issues this morning. Anyway, let's look at the 2023 general elections and the expectation of the people. As a matter of fact, it's less than 45 days before the presidential election, and we know that campaigns are on now for various political parties with their presidential candidates, members contesting for senatorial elections, various parties, and also House of Representatives in various parties across the state. Well, one thing that stands clear is that Nigerians, who are the average electorate, they have expectations. So what is these expectations that Nigerians, have? What are their expectations as far as, choosing the next set of leaders is concerned? Well, this morning we are so privileged to have Nowita Igbotako, who is the chairman, Media Publicity Labour Presidential Campaign Council in Edo State. Sir, you're welcome to this program this morning on ITV.
Good morning, viewers.
Okay.
It's a pleasure to be here.
And also have a big brother friend, Ayamehwe Edokpolo is his name. He's a member of the APC Presidential Council, Campaign Council in Edo State. Now, gentlemen, please, we must know we're not going to campaign on this platform. When we campaign, I'll just, cut it off. So we're going to speak to the issues so that we can direct the electorate on what to do.
Thank you for having me, my brother.
You're welcome. Now, just like what we say that the elections, they are fast approaching. We have the presidential election, we have the senatorial election, of course, elections into the various seats of the House of Representatives. Now, the average Nigerian on the streets expects something. So let us try to extract the core of the hearts of the average Nigerian. What do we think he or she expects as we prepare for the election? I'll start with Nowita Igbotako.
Thank you, Mr. Evans. Expectedly, an average Nigerian on the street expects good governance. An average Nigerian on the street wants the political class who are, aspiring to govern the people to do their bidding. Doing their bidding means that we've had a lot of misgovernance in this country. The people are suffering. There's impoverishment at every nook and cranny, insecurity, hyperinflationary trend. People are not safe. People cannot access 2 square meals. Most people cannot access 2 square meals a day. Even a meal is a problem for most Nigerians. So most of Nigerians are impoverished. The impoverishment caused by the ruling class, by the All Progressive Congress that is holding the stick of governance now. So Nigerians are unhappy. Most Nigerians are unhappy. They want a change in the way they are being governed. They want visionary leaders who can address the prevailing issues in the system. They want leaders who will be talking about production, not talking about consumption, not talking about rentier system. Because what we have in Nigeria is a situation whereby the rulers have turned themselves into a rentier estate. Nigeria has become a rentier estate. Nothing good seems to be coming to the people. Everything seems to be limited to those who are in the corridors of powers or in the kitchens of power. So Nigeria, the expectations are high. Nigeria wants good governance. They want visionary leaders that will take them to the next level.
Okay, now Ayamehwe Edokpolo, you are a member of the All Progressives Congress, just like what he said, that the ruling party now, somehow some persons try to understand what is going on. Some persons also point accusing fingers at the ruling party. Now, are there better ways we can really explain what you think is going on in the country today?
Yeah, my brother, the part of issue is that most times, people are deliberately lobotomized, who are deliberately deceived, and a lot of hyper fallacies, hyper propagandas are played up, with a view to deceiving people for the purpose of elections. And so I always encourage, the electorates to by themselves, attempt to understudy what the issues are and be able to appraise and take a definitive positions by themselves. You see, when you solve a maths, by yourself, the confidence that you exude, is immeasurable. But when somebody else solves it for you, you don't have that confidence. And so that is the way Nigeria is right now. When you talk about, the ruling party, I hope people are not mistaking those states as part of the ruling party, because this is not APC states. This is
no, we're talking about presidency.
So if you talk about presidency, you have to understand that the whole configuration of economic management of a society, must transcend from the 3 tiers of government, i.e., the federal government, the state governments, and the local government. Of course, we largely have local governments in Edo State now. So the state government is PDP, and the central, for instance, now is federal government APC. Now, if you look at the economy of the state, a number of issues are there for us to see that there is transparent management of the economy to reposition the economy. Because we came from a situation where, a lot of things, were thrown upside down. For instance, we now have an effective railway system now. We now have a second Niger bridge running now. Okay? We have a lot of things, being played up to reposition the country economically, infrastructurally, and otherwise. Now, Nigeria is now a viable country as we speak, because you have a transparent leader, a president who is not interested in amassing wealth for himself. He said yesterday, I do not have a house outside of Nigeria. I do not have a foreign bank account. And he made a fundamental statement that his parting gift to Nigeria is that before May 29, the Nigerian army will produce a Nigerian-made helicopter with 100%, assembled engineering parts or wares, hardwares or softwares, as the case may be. So the point we are making is that we are having just now a leadership. For instance, we are having a legacy of transparent election. The president, the current administration now, cannot be accused by anyone of having attempted or actually rigged an election for any state governor. That is in itself sincerity in the transformation of the electoral process. And so these are the build-up to a developed society. Developed society doesn't just come by somebody just making all statements of lamentations. If you want to estray Nigeria, still talking about expectations of Nigerians, to throw up somebody for president, we must look at his yesterday. What did he do when he was local government chairman? What did he do when he was governor? Did he reduce his states to become the poverty capital in one of the 10 states of the country? Is that what we had? If that question is here, then the capability or pedigree of that person is in doubt.
Okay. Now, Nowita Ibutako, I know you have so much to respond to based on what Ayamekwe just said. But quickly, let's look at it one more time. Because, when politicians explain issues, they look at the gains, the achievements and all that. But on the other way around, some other persons feel differently about it. So I don't know how you begin to react to some of the things that he said, that we have effective railway system, one, and secondly, that we have the Niger Bridge, just
Niger Bridge,
the second Niger Bridge now, which we're told about 2-3 weeks ago, is ineffective now.
TMI, every opinion counts.
All right, thank you so much. Here at the program still this morning on ITV. We're still expecting Chris Nahikari. We're still looking at the 2023 election and the expectations of the people. Nowita Ibutako is still here with us. And of course, Ayamekwe Edokbolo still here with us. Gentlemen, you're welcome one more time.
Thank you
It's a
so
pleasure. We're happy to be here.
Okay, now Nowita Ibutako, we're looking at some of the ways that politicians respond to issues that when you bring up discussions, topic for discussions, you hear people talk about achievements and all that. But ordinarily, people, we want to react. So I don't know how you begin to react to some of the things that he said.
Yes, he said that the second Niger Bridge is operational. Well, that's a plus to the Buhari government. I am not going to dispute that because that is a reality. And talking about other things we're mentioning, it is clear that the people of Nigeria, Nigerian masses, are not happy with this government. Talk about corruption. Corruption is an issue that this government said we're going to fight headlong. You know, when you're talking about the campaign issue. And the way corruption has, the way the government is fighting corruption is not, you know, people are not happy. Look at what is happening at the level of the NNPC, for instance. Look at the oil theft. Look at California, for instance, that iron deposit in Borno State. The federal government is not annexing the human resources we have in Nigeria. The federal government is not fighting corruption. Corruption has been politicized. Look at what is happening at the Ministry of you know, Justice, Malami. The greatest, you know, what they call it, misapplication of rule of law is taking place from the office of the Attorney General. You understand? And what do we have? The resources that Nigeria has is unquantifiable. The federal government under Buhari has not been able to annex and manage our resources properly. There is a hyperinflationary trend in the country. Look at the price of rice, for instance. Essential commodities have gone up. And every Nigerian cannot access food. You take it from me. In developed countries, one of the things the government do is to make sure that the people are well fed. In Nigeria, Nigerians are hungry. The mass of Nigerian people are hungry, and they are even hungry. That's why they are saying that they want a government presidential election to February 2023. They want a candidate that will dance to their wishes and aspirations. What he said Buhari has done in terms of Second Niger Bridge and the other thing you mentioned, Railway has brought my mind to the issue of security. What is wrong for the federal government of Nigeria to put necessary gadgets to man the railway stations? Put cameras. Okay, look at those guys that were picked in Igwebe. There's money. If you can put railway on the ground for Nigerian people to access, why not put the necessary you know, component that will take care of security? In Igwebe, for instance, if we have all these CCTV cameras, they are taking those bastards, those S-men that, you know, would have taken them, we will not be having problem locating them now because they will be taken immediately. So we challenge the federal government. When you are putting a policy or you are implementing a policy, do it to the latter. We want our railway system to be secured. We want a president that will come February 9, 2023 that will secure Nigerians. Never in the history of Nigeria has the level of banditry, kidnapping has taken place. So for me, Nigeria is in a mess.
Okay, well, let me pause you. For some people, Nigeria is not in a mess. That's your own point.
People are in a mess. Things are not working for the Nigerian people.
But again, for the sake of emphasis, what happened in Igwebe, we do not know whether herdsmen are responsible for it now. So investigations are still ongoing. So let's leave that there. Now, I don't know whether the insecurity issues in the country, do you think your own party, the APC, can it be excused? I mean, for a party that has been on for an onward of about 8 years now, and the insecurity has always, you know, been heightened, you know, from one level to another. So do you think Nigerians can afford to excuse the APC from the insecurity in Nigeria?
As much as Nigerians cannot excuse my party from the level of insecurity, we must also understand that insecurity, you know, is part and parcel of issues or crimes that play up in every society. What government do before or what government does after are critical to measuring the credibility of the government to fighting insecurity.
Yeah, for 8 years.
In the United States, as I speak to you, my brother, as we are here, you can follow up on news later. There are issues of, you know, people, gun-running elements.
Shooting.
We
know that.
I mean, are you there here?
We know that.
But what government does after to bring the bastards to justice is what matters. Are you saying there are no CCTV cameras there? There are. It's in abundance in those countries. Yet, people with devious and bad minds still go about doing their nefariousness. So these are issues. Now, I must register my empathy and sympathy with the victims of the railway attack in Igwebe and around the country, anywhere they may be. You know, my hearts and prayers are with them. That must be registered. But however, I want to say that it is, investigation is going on. One will not dabble into it. But clearly, with what we have seen so far, it was an organized crime. It was an organized crime. The railway MD has spoken that it was carefully an organized crime. maybe from inside sources. There must be insider conspiracy. It talks about CCTV. I am aware, as far as the former minister for transport, Amechi, spoke about security gadgets put in place in the railway system supplied into this country.
Where are they?
And so they were placed inside the railway system, as we are told. I have not used it before, so I can't speak to its efficacy. I need to talk to facts. But I am saying that, as a matter of fact, the investigation will be strengthened based on internal security gadgets therein, as far as that train is concerned. So while we allow the police to investigate, I must say that the government of Buhari is doing everything, you know, to fight insecurity. For instance, we used to hear before Christmas or around New Year incidences of, you know, mass killings of people and all that. In the last 2 years, by the grace of God, God has been kind. Essentially, God. You know, we have not been hearing that. It shows that things are happening.
But some persons credit that to the state governments. Like,
no, we are talking about northern Nigeria, not about state government. You know, we are Satanists. We used to hear incidences of killing of our people in the north, especially Kano and Kaduna and all that. In the last 2 years, religious. So in the last 2 years, we haven't seen that. So that, for me, we give credit first to God Almighty and to the security infrastructure that has been improved over time. So talking about 2023, as we go to the election, our party has thrown up a candidate who has the capacity, the pedigree. No, I'm not mentioning his name. I have not mentioned his name.
We have represented you as APC, a member of the APC campaign organization. Okay. So let's speak to the issues, not to campaign.
Okay.
Now, you know, expectations of Nigerians is what we are looking at here. The issue of corruption, you talked about that a while ago, and you indicted, as a matter of fact, from the way you
just stealing,
you said
reckless stealing at the highest level.
But again,
topicalizations are not reality, my brother. You can topicalize anything.
How would you want to explain what happened recently with your own Director General of your campaign organization, Doyin Okukpe?
Yes.
Because for most Nigerians are looking for a party, a sent party, so to say, a party that is blameless, so to say, a party that will project a candidate that is not in any way, you know, is not stained in any way.
Yes.
The issue with Doyin Okukpe, somehow, in the political space now, some persons cannot fathom that. How can...
let me speak to it. Doyin Okukpe is a victim of his own, you know, antecedents. You know,
and your party gave him that kind of sensible job?
I'm coming. Doyin Okukpe did not jump from the sky. He served by Obasanjo. He served Jonathan. And the so-called windfall that came from Mustafa, the former Sambo, Dasuki. The thing, he got himself embroiled in that. It's money laundering and what have you. You know, you got some money through that process.
Yeah, the reason why I'm asking this question is that one of your selling points is that you are going to...
I just started, I will land.
Okay.
So, and you know, in a political party, you don't drive people who want to come to you. And I know there should be one-on-one relationship between Doyin Okukpe and Peter Obi, for instance. And we equally know that our candidate did not even jump from the sky. He had been in the PDP. Abga, and he started from Ujuku, Abga, and all that.
That's correct.
We know where he's coming from. But that Okukpe, you know, at the end of the day, got himself to that mess. It's a mess. He got himself involved in that. He got some money, and he was not clever enough to do the needful. And what happened? So that does not represent the vision of the Labour Party. Okukpe is an individual. We have our presidential candidate Peter Obi. We have Dati Ahmed, who is a vice presidential candidate. We have brilliant minds, missionary characters who are in the party. You know, revolutionaries, and you will agree with me. Never in the history of this country, as like minds, people from different strata, nationalistic, nationalistic people. Coming together, nationalists to say, from every strata of the country, They have come together in our party, Labour Party.
Okay.
So Edo Okupe is on an issue, and it was cleverly handled by the party. And he himself resigned, and before you know it, somebody else came on board. So it has nothing to do to dent the major Labour Party. We are moving forward. We want to ensure a new Nigeria. We are showing Nigerian people that we will do their bidding.
Yeah, the reason why I ask this question is that the issue of Labour Party or any other political party is not just the concern of the party itself. I mean, it's a Nigerian project now.
Yes.
If any party that brings up a candidate, that brings up any person into a sensitive position, Nigerians are watching, and Nigerians, we want to naturally react. So that's why I have to bring that question up.
Yeah.
Anyway, let me come to Ayamekwe one more time. Now, we have so many things to talk about as far as this administration is concerned. Insecurity is there, like we mentioned a while ago. The issue of the economy is also there, as well. So as he, talked about.
Even if I could chip in, as we speak, fuel scarcity has come.
Just hold on.
It's an issue.
I was going to say that now.
Fuel scarcity.
The non-availability of fuel in the country is also an issue. So Nigerians do not expect a government. Governments come into power through political parties. Nigerians cannot afford to expect this kind of government anymore. That's what we are saying here. So in the light of all this, how do we project your party in all this?
You see, to start with, let me respond to the issue of Donyi Okupe.
Okay.
You see, any attempt to divorce a critical holder of a position in a political party, to divorce his conviction by a court of competent jurisdiction from the integrity or the avowed integrity of that party is an effort in futility. To divorce it. It's just like you are putting it to me that as a member of the APC, there is insecurity and President Muhammadu Buhari is a president elected through my party. I said yes. I took responsibility and I made responses. But right here, my distinguished co-discussant is trying to divorce the criminality, of Donyi Okupe, which was a watershed, in all sense of evaluation of the Labour Party. You see, if you say your party is composed of credible elements and one of them has been found guilty by the law, it shows that the justice system, which you just criticized just now, is in farce. Because
it's even a kind of witch hunt.
I'm still on
there are a lot of members who got money for sample who are still walking around. It's a kind of witch hunt.
I'm still on my feet. The last time I checked, Donyi Okupe is not the only person that has been convicted, following the myriad of beneficiaries of the windfall, so to speak, quote and unquote, of all the monies that came from Colonel Sambo Dasuki.
Yes.
You see, the point in issue is that the justice system is working, and if you are looking at credibility of parties, candidates, and the spokespersons of a political party, the national hierarchy, one should not divorce certain things that have happened. Okay? Because every attempt has been made by that same party. I don't want to make or say some parties to criminalize the candidate of my party.
Yeah.
And as we speak, there is no court of competent jurisdiction that has convicted him. So here we are dealing with a convict, which I cannot openly call a criminal. Because you don't call anybody a criminal until the person is found guilty by a court of competent jurisdiction. Now, coming to the issue of fuel scarcity and some of these other issues as we approach the election, first of all, it is disheartening, so to speak. I'm a different person. I'm a realist. I don't cover things.
Thank God for
because I also buy fear.
Yeah.
I also go to queue like every other APC, PDP, Labour Party, all Nigerians. When you go to a mega police station to queue, you don't bring out the membership card of your party. Yeah. In fact, they don't even allow us to say you are. Who cares about that? So we are all involved in it. So, but I also know that this is part of a distillation process.
Yeah, but some persons say that your party has always portrayed an inability to handle issues.
No. You see, when you say portray inability, you should know that that is false characterization of my party elements and leaders. You see, you have to understand that there is, for instance, the PIA, Petroleum Industry Act, that now makes the petroleum industry
and what do you think is
truly credible, truly accounting, and specifically to do business. No. Let me make this clear. Let me make this clear for the purpose of sensitizing
What
Nigerians.
is the effect of that?
The effect of that is that the NAPC is now a business, a profit-oriented organization, other than a Father Christmas status that it used to be. You understand what I'm talking about? It's not going to be doing business like Ajib, like just a woman selling tomatoes on the street. That's the NAPC we have now. Is to do business, make profit, be accountable, open his books for accounting scrutiny from time to time to Nigerians. That is what we have done, because from the history, we have been seeing PIB, Petroleum Industry Bill. Buhari administration turned it to PIA. That is, encourage the National Assembly to pass it into law and become a product of an act of parliament, so that it's accountable to Nigerians from time to time. That's what we have done. But on this issue of fuel scarcity, I have also tried to understudy what are the underpinnings.
Okay, now because of time, I'll just give you 30 seconds only to quickly react as we close this segment this morning. 30 seconds quickly, yeah.
For me, the PIA, whatever the coloration, corruption remains an issue. The greatest robbery is still taking place at that level. What was fuel subsidy? Fuel subsidy is an organized crime, and the greatest robbery is taking place what has changed? If PIA, as you said, is working, why do we have queue on the street? Why have been buying fuel at almost 300 naira? For America, 200 naira, it is unthinkable. So Nigerians are worried, Nigerians are hungry, Nigerians are unhappy. We expect that things will change during the next presidential election.
20 seconds.
I like to say that going to the next election, I want to assure Nigerians that the candidate we have thrown up is going to ensure that all of these things are gone for good.
Anyway, gentlemen, I want to say a very big thank you for finding time to come. Nowita Igbutako and also Ayamehwe Edokpolo on the program today. Election is just about less than 45 days to go for the election, so Nigerians are also watching. They are also making their calculations. Nigerians know better. That's one big thing about the election. So at the end of the day, Nigerians will speak with their PVC. All right, so we'll take a short pause now so that we'll join some pensioners, some pensioners on this show today, and also the Commissioner for Information, Edo State. Please stay tuned.